home and native land, Toronto's newest pulp culture podcast, covering your favorite comics, collectibles, media, nerderific origin stories, and more. Hosted by your northern neighbor, Joey Pangolinin. Here it is, nerdos and nerdettes, Comics Sing!
Hey nerdos and nerdettes, it's Joey from Comics Inc. And I'm over here again with Phil at Planet Hobby over at Mississauga, Ontario, very, very close to Mavis and Burnhamthorpe. Hi, Phil.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you. So we had a lot. We talked about so many things today already. But the one thing that I think I always go back with you is what's happening in Marvel and what's happening in DC and how there's very, very different things happening. You know, DC's concentrating on storylines, really great storylines, and Marvel is doing this bit where it's like miniseries here, a little bit of, you know, miniseries there, and as a collector and, you know, reading Amazing Spider-Man, I kind of don't know what to pick up again, right? So I was reading Fall of Parker, and then that stopped, and then now I'm reading Red Redemption.
Okay.
And but then I was hoping that Fall of Parker would continue, and then what is it now? Then Venom came out randomly in December, and then I totally lost it. So
that was the Venom sort of the Venom Alpha product. That was that comic book. Oh yeah.
So there was like the first like a really thick one, the part one, and then the second one came out end of December.
It sold well.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
So I think it was one of the biggest books of the month was that one.
Yeah, and I mean, do you like the True Believers line?
Yeah, I mean it's getting people involved for $1.
Yeah,
right. It's like it's back to 1985, 1990 pricing.
$1.99 or something like that, depending on the exchange rate, I guess. But
yeah.
No, it's. I mean, you know, so some comic book stores offer it like as a pre-sale, so they'll compile all the True Believers stuff, and right when everything comes out, then you get that whole bit. And then some people are kind of just, you know, just having it in the store kind of thing. I appreciate it because it saves money on the having to find those key issues in original state. So as a customer, I'm happy about it, but I was always wondering, like, for you guys though, it's taking up room and it's only $1 in comparison to comics right now, which is you know, in your $5-6 range.
You know, it's kind of an odd thing for retailers. It's a lot of work to make 75 cents. For an issue, and we have all the same cost structures as any other business per square foot. Yeah. You know, like we have the same costs as, let's say, a jewelry store or an auto dealership, whatever. Like per square foot, we pay the same taxes usually. The same labor might be different. It's just what does the end sale? How much does the product cost? And what does the end sale look like? Yeah. For an auto dealership, the end sale is a $30,000 car. For a jewelry store, it's a $3,000 ring.
And for us,
a comic book shop, it's a $1.49 comic, right?
Yeah.
But my rent per square foot is probably the same as.
The same as the bubble tea place, the
right
same as
door.
the ramen place. You
exactly.
know, yeah.
I happen to know per square foot we're all paying the same.
Yeah.
Right. So I have the same cost structures, except they're selling a $10 bowl of soup, and I'm selling a $1.50 comic. So
we should start selling soup here.
I should. I should.
Just cut a hole right on that wall, and we'll figure something out.
Yeah. I'll have like a little takeout window. So you can eat your soup here. Excuse me. So the whole point to the business is, if we might get into the business side of things for a second, is to increase your average sale, because right now in this business environment, there's no more growing your business. There's really only finding efficiencies within it.
Yeah.
Have a great day. Take care. Someone had recently asked me, so growing your business, take on this and take on that. And I said, the quickest way to find margin in your business is, if you want to eliminate 10 to 15% in every cost category, everything from the hours you're open, staffed. You need all the people you have, all the time, like, cutting hours, whatever, and different product lines.
Yeah.
So, sorry, that's kind of the boring part of the business, but when we talk about, as a business, what it's like to sell a dollar comic, there are... I'd much rather sell an issue of Doomsday Clock rather than...
Oh, of course.
Because...
And that book is doing so well right now. Like, it's
excellent.
Yeah, it's great. I'm picking up as well. That's in my pull list.
It's probably the best written miniseries right now, for sure, bar none.
Yeah.
Not even close to anything else.
Yeah. No, I'm happy with it, certainly. There's also something that I wanted to talk about in terms of Archie comics. We were talking last podcast about movies and how they translate to comics and other way around. The show Riverdale, I don't know if you're watching that right now.
I actually watch it with my daughter.
Yeah.
Like, are we caught up? No, because we're on Netflix, so we're always a little bit behind on this.
That's right.
On the seasons,
or
the episodes. But
how do you feel about it? I mean, like, it's certainly not the Archie we grew up. Yeah, I know. It's
like the show starts off with a murder. And it's Archie and the teacher, kind of...
Yeah, I know.
Like, wow, this is not the Archie I remember.
No, not at all. But no, you know what? Like, I like it. I like the refreshing take on it. That's actually how I started reading comics, is through the digests. And this was back in, like, 96 or something like that, But you know what? There's something about Archie. They still seem like they're going strong. Because I'm still seeing their digests in the newsstands. And I'm not seeing any Marvels or DCs, certainly.
You know what? It does still sell, and I would say... Sorry, I had to do something real quick. The bulk of all Archies sold happen at the
grocery store level.
Yeah.
Like those end cap things.
That's right.
And there's Us and People Magazine and maybe...
The gossip columns.
Inquirer and you buy, like, Chiclets and Tic Tacs and this and that, and there are the Archie digests.
Yeah.
I think that's still a huge revenue generator for that publisher.
Why do you think it does so well there? When the first big thing that's ever happened to Archie was after Afterlife of Archie was Riverdale, but I mean before that there wasn't anything rebooting Archie significantly. Like, how come they're succeeding in that way, and these big publishers are not in the market anymore? Well, not in the grocery newsstand market.
First off, I actually did sell more Archie before the reboot.
Yeah. Okay.
There was a lot more titles. There was Betty and Veronica, and there was Life with Archie. Then there was Archie and Jughead. They had about 10 ongoing titles, but it was geared towards. It was very fluffy stuff.
Always, yeah.
Archie's car breaks down.
Yeah.
It's far from someone dying or
sleeping with the teacher.
They found a body somewhere under a bridge in Riverdale. Like, it's just nuts. But I think the quality is there. I think Mark Waid wrote it for a while.
Yeah, that's
okay,
right.
so you get a real writer. Not that it's not real writing, the other stuff, but
depth writer.
Exactly. His stuff is excellent. And I do like it a lot more. I read the Archie. I even read the Archie meets the Ramones, which is in...
Yeah.
Excuse me. They have a long legacy of, Archie meets Predator, Archie meets Punisher. Well, you could say Archie is just killed by Predator.
Sure. Yeah, of course.
Arnie could barely fight those guys off. So
yeah. Well, what is a redhead guy gonna do?
Yeah, some ginger.
Some ginjo. I know. No, but I certainly appreciate that. Netflix is bringing back all these things. We talked about even the Black Lightning coming out and all that kind of stuff. I'm totally not caught up with that one. I'm probably like 2 or 3 episodes right now. But I never got to really know Black Lightning. Also Black Panther. I've only really known him randomly, so, reaching back to like True Believers, even those smaller characters, I don't want to say smaller characters, just characters that are not as well known.
Well, they are. They're second or third. They're B and C level characters for sure. Like, Black Panther was never a Spider-Man, although Disney is pushing him.
Yeah, but like these True Believer comic books, that maybe hopefully. My understanding is maybe these people that are watching these movies will want to know more, and then they can come here, to their local comic book store and not break the bank and get a whole bunch of trade paperbacks and, you know, a bunch of back issues and all that kind of stuff. And hopefully that's the kind of people that's like targeting it. But do you feel it as a merchant?
Oh yeah.
So I was kind of hoping that's where that was going, because, you know, the main point of Comics Inc. at, you know, in the very, very, very beginning was, I just kind of wish that people knew a little bit more of the meat part of the movie, you know, and to kind of bring this whole community together. So really happy that you actually said that people are being driven to the shops.
Absolutely. Now, but the bigger question is, does it turn into revenue? Does it turn into sales?
Does it turn into a pull list?
Does it turn into a pull list? Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. Not always, because sometimes, I mean, Disney has worked really hard to be congruent with. You go and see the new Captain America movie, let's say, or the new Avengers or Black Panther, and then when you walk into the comic book shop, you're buying something that looks similar. Like, Disney is really good with that. It hasn't always worked out, but they're good at doing that or attempting that.
Yeah. Now,
does it turn into sales? And I think the industry has been strong, especially in the product side of things, for so long. We're probably 10 to 15 years in on this explosion.
Yeah.
People have a lot of stuff in their basements, in their rooms, in their dens, in their man caves, woman caves, whatever you like.
Yeah, even in their living room.
We've been collecting for so long that most people are getting collecting fatigue.
Yeah.
And I think it's from, you know, eventually you just get tired of collecting one thing. Maybe it's Spider-Man, whatever. I'm surprised it's as strong as it is this far into this whole merchandising cycle.
Well, speaking of merchandise, I noticed that a lot of the comic book stores that I visit, one of them no, because they have a huge place, but there's a lot of people that aren't really selling pop figures anymore. I remember like 2 years ago how big they were.
Yeah.
You know?
I actually started to whittle down my inventory a few years ago, because I started to see the number of them. There's a good, I would say there's 150 to 200 new pop figures every month. Now, I only see those that Diamond or other local distributors, or even from New York State, will carry, that have to do with the industry.
Yeah.
But there's tons and tons and tons of them that we never actually see.
And they're just online specials kind of thing. Yeah,
that have nothing to do with, all made by Funko, special editions. There's a ton of them every month. I would say 150, 200, that would be on the high side, but definitely between 50 to 75, and during Christmas that explodes. That's 2 or 3 times that number.
Yeah.
And you just have to say, now I'm saying no to far more than I say yes to. And I find that the price point is, not only have sales slowed, I know some customers who have 5 times as many pops as I have. I know some guys who have 2,000 to 3,000 pop figures that they've collected
their walls
over
are
10
just
years.
Covered. Yeah.
And I'm like, where are you putting all this stuff? Because the packaging is an issue, so they want to keep everything in condition and so forth. And
do you think it'll be worth it to keep Funkos in good condition?
Some of them, but you know, I've been in the business long enough. No matter how cool, no matter how great, no matter how fantastic a trend is, eventually it comes to an end. Are Beanie Babies commanding anywhere near the same price as they were? Not even close.
Just in a garage sale bin, really, kind of thing.
You know, Beanie Babies that were limited editions that were $300. I'll bet you. If I walk down to the Salvation Army, I'll find some.
Absolutely.
In their bin, and I wouldn't know that was once $200 12 years ago.
Are there any toys? Because I remember when Target used to be a thing in Canada. If there's anybody in the U.S. listening, there's no more Target here in Canada. It just didn't work out. But they used to have a line.
Not work out.
Oh gosh, I know.
That was
they had a line of toys. I remember they were very, very heavy into the action figures. Now that market is gone, and basically it's Walmart or a comic book store carrying it, is there still a line right now that's doing really well, action figure wise?
Marvel Select is great, and I like it because I've never understood why with Marvel Legends, why do I have to buy a case? And under that case there could be 6, 8 or more figures, different ones. you know, no matter how strong the case is, there's always 2 or 3 figures minimum that you either blow out at or below cost, which affects, you know,
everything else.
In
really.
this